welcome back to the video. I expect you've just seen a montage of some sort that I haven't filmed yet, so hope it was good. For me, Saturday morning heading down to the track. I came down yesterday, Friday, to set up and do a bit of a track walk, and it's actually looking pretty good. There's a fair bit more rubber on the track than I expected, but just to compensate, this track doesn't get raced on all year, so I put a soft seat in, started with a soft axle, and we'll see how that goes in practice and make some changes from there. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Hamilton's a great track. It attracts a few drivers that don't do the rest of the series, just because it's something we don't get to race on very often. So there's a lot of fast guys in the class this weekend. But yeah, anyway, we're on a bit of a roll at the moment with the results, so let's see if we can keep that going. But knock on wood, I just hope to get through fairly cleanly. Every heat counts for points for the championship, so just want to have some clean heats, make sure I finish each one. No mistakes like Horsham a few weeks ago, where we spun it around and had to make a bit of a comeback. But although it's fun, it can be frustrating in the moment. So anyway, let's see how practice shakes out, and we'll make some changes and we'll go from there, throw some fresh tyres on the quali, and we'll give it the beans. All right, catch you then.
It worked.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Qualifying. Fresh tyres. I've changed axle to a medium, seat back to a standard, and dropped the pressures. Definitely went out too high last time, so 5th in time practice, but geez, the times are 1/10 puts you 5 positions forward or backwards, so it's very close. let's jump into a lap of Buckley Park Raceway. First, turns 1 and 2, we're going to eat all of the curb. The next right-hander, turn 3, we do not touch at all, but we run it out wide. Next corner is a left-hand uphill, late brake, early throttle, avoid the puddle on the left. Try and drive it nice and straight through this area so we can get a good turn in onto this back straight. That curb we don't want to touch too much because it doesn't settle the kart and affects our terminal speed here. Late brake, it's a downhill right-hander off camber, a little bit awkward. Full throttle down this hill, brake into this left-hander for the last corner, and throttle on early. We want to make sure we don't bog the kart down or run it out too wide into the grass. And that's a P5 in qualifying, 31.903. The top 8 in this field was separated by only a tenth of a second. So yeah, half a tenth either way puts us back or forwards a lot of places. So not a bad spot to start on the inside there. That's where we want to be. Let's jump into the heats.
Both connected and recording. Heat 1, starting P5. That's inside lane, which is a good omen after Horsham, because that was not inside lane and that was drama.
Well, what an up and down race. Started P5, we lost 2 positions on the start immediately, and we only gained them back because P1 and P2 had a bit of an incident on lap 4. So P5 start, P5 finish. You know, I was disappointed, but at the same time, probably one of my best races of the weekend. So end of day 1, let's jump into day 2, heat 2, and see how this weekend pans out.
Only one change going into this. Went back up to a 76 on the back. The data actually looked okay for the 75, but I just felt like I was getting swamped out of the final turn. So, although min corner speed was down, so maybe I got pressures wrong. Don't know. It's a lot easier when it's your home track and you know exactly what you need to do for setup. But anyway.
Qualifying 5th, first heat 5th, second heat starting 5th. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, what a terrible result, and it's all my fault. I went for a move that probably shouldn't have gone for. I didn't even know Paul was behind me. Actually, it looked like he was about to make a move on me when I made a move on the 55. So, anyway, all my own. We got lucky with penalties. The 3 in front, well, 2 got weight penalties, and the other one got a grid place drop. And we're not exactly sure how it all applies in what order, but it ended up with me somehow with a P5 finish. So I'll take it. And we move on to the final 2 races, Heat 3 and the final.
Yep. Alright, Heat 3 starting 4th on the outside. It's going to be interesting. I've gone a little bit narrow in the rear to try and trace some grip, but it's also heated up a lot.
Let's just get through clean and see where we shake out, eh? Nothing opportunistic, nothing yet. Well, easier said than done, eh? Fuck me. Nothing to do about that. Let's keep the poles together. absolute shit show that was. Oh, my bumper held on. I don't know how.
Once again proving that outside lane, yeah, not so lucky. But we benefited from other people's incidents. We had a lot of offs. I think it was lap 6 or 7, whatever it was there. And yeah, put us back up into 5th. One more overtake on Ty, got us back to 4th, which is good points. Yeah, look, the pace has been there all weekend. Just putting it together has been really hard. And we're about to hit the hardest one of all, the final. Let's just jump straight into it. Let's find out what happened.
Cheers.
Let's get it out of the way. The final did not go well for me. As you can see by the condition of the kart, it looks actually worse than it did before I gave it the makeover. Let's jump in and find out what led to my DNF in the final.
Starting P4, hopefully don't get a go-kart out of the top of us. Get through these first couple of turns alright, and then we push.
Another slow roll around. Don't make your intentions clear or anything, Paul.
Was it. That's the moment this is all over. Turn 2. As soon as I put my foot on the ground, that's an instant disqualification. Get yourself off. You can either put a hand or a foot down, and I get the black flag a couple of laps from now and say pull in. That was it. Again, nothing wrong. Just on my line there on the left. Couldn't be any further left. I'm up against the curb and bang. I'll show a few replays with different angles from different cameras, but yeah, it's one of those is what it is moments, but still frustrating.
I've got no idea.
Well, let's have a look over this footage. This is the GoPro from the front. From this angle we can actually see number 17 come along on the right hand side there and turn into the corner, and it just wasn't enough room for the two of us to go through, so yeah, wheel over the top. From this angle you can't actually see the kart turning into our right here, but you can see for me I'm just up against that curb at the turn and up in the air, and I'm going absolutely nowhere. Yeah, obviously from behind we don't really see anything other than the fact that everyone gets through alright, which is great. Always good to see a clean start from everyone else. But anyway, have a look over all this. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'm going to put it down to a racing incident. Just unfortunately, just picked up a tyre as we're busting through here. Normally you just sort of scrape against each other and a bit of argy-bargy, but in this case, yeah, ended our races. So let me know. That's it for this weekend. Thanks for watching along. We're down to the final round in Cobden at Southwest Go-Kart Club next month, and I'm really looking forward to it. So we've got an extra heat race, so there's more points to be had, and it all comes down to this for 2nd, 3rd and 4th in the championship. So it's going to be closely fought. Watch out for that one, and I'll see you all there.